morning, good day to you as usual. Wherever and whenever you listen to this series of Knowledge Seekers programs from Keshe Foundation Space Institute. We welcome you back, and we try, we endeavor to carry on with the process of what we've been doing past few weeks and years. From last week, when we start explaining in more detail about the time and how time is created, how a sperm and egg having their own soul create their own time, that the new time is a new child. And the rest of the world of the creation is the same. Fields meet, interact. Child is a star, child is a galaxy, child is a universe. And in all processes, everything is the same. The time when the actual process starts controlling its own destiny. That's what we call the beginning of time. When a single cell decides itself, where I live, how long I exist, and what I'm prepared to give to the environment around me, that my existence support their life, like every layer of the skin of the man. It changes every 28 days, but you have middle layer, top layer, and bottom layer, and they all collaborate to guarantee the existence of each other. Otherwise, once one gets damaged, the other ones don't exist, and they're in trouble. They give enough for the others to exist, and they take enough for them to survive. And what they don't have, we absorb from outside. Let what I need come through. Let the bottom layer needs, let's come through. And what the bottom layer has and doesn't need it from inside, let's the top layer to get rid of. We call it the sweat, we call it the heat, whatever. This is a process of creation. Stars, galaxies. The planetary system works exactly the same way. The inner side creates heat. The skin of the planet allows certain amount of heat. The gases allow the heat to evaporate, to go into the what we call the space of the universe, that Earth can keep its condition. So we understand each one creates its own time. It dictates its own time. The complexity of knowledge comes into when you transfer and transmute combination, which times you choose. You're man, you're wearing a suit made of wool, you got in your pocket an apple, one the one you eat and one the one you communicate with, you have a bite of it, and you travel. You have a coin in your pocket, and you have documents and papers. Each one has its own time. You create a condition that the time matches, that they travel with you. If you forget, you leave the apple on the desk in physical life. If you don't get the time right for the existence of the life of the apple, when you get to the other side, the time is 3 days ahead, is rotten in your pocket. So it's important for us to understand combination of time. The intro was fantastic. This intro past 10 minutes brought a rush of memories. Every word said in there, it brought back so much confirmation of technology bit by bit. Coincidentally, past few days going through, trying to make pictures ready for the presentation on the 19th, I came across some of the pictures which brought back so many memories. And with this intro, brought it right in. I saw a picture with John standing with his passport in his hand, saying, I'm ready to go, I'm there. Before that, I had to approach the authorities that are bringing people in. What we're going to do, I spoke to the American embassy. You're transmuting, and they said, no problem. When you do, we know, we got the name, we recorded it. And I remember when John came in telling me where he is, what he does, what I'm doing, what I've got in my hand, where I was in the exhibition. It was just one confirmation after another. It is how knowledge is built on. He devoted his life to bringing that knowledge, transmutation. And he was the first passenger. We brought through the fear of physicality. I remember his more or less cries, why can't I show myself? I said, there is something short in our system. I went upstairs in the back room where he used to lie when he was with us, And he said, I'm in that room. I'm lying on the sofa. I'm lying on the chair. And it was amazing how precise he was. When I touched the what we call the obesos, he said, you're near the obeso. I can see it. I can read the writing. The only thing is left is to match the time of the soul with the time of physicality. This is what our technology was not full with. And now we're achieving that time. We understand that process to develop technologies for it. Part of this process comes from understanding of oneself. How do we transmute? How do we transfer matching times? Why couples try for years, but they cannot. There's nothing wrong with either of them, but they cannot have a child because the soul of the egg and the sperm does not match. They can't coincide. It's something in the emotion of the mother which does not allow the egg to transfer its time to the other. That's all it is. Why they suddenly separate and join another partners and both have children? Because the time fits. The energy balance is there, the materials there, the place, the position, and the possession are there. But the emotion and what we call the time of the amalgamation of the two to make one does not exist, does not have the matching time. It's like putting iron to a copper and trying to attach to it by what we call magnetize it or pull it together. It doesn't fit, even though they're both perfect. In the coming time, we have shown in 2 or 3 cases in Africa and in Europe where we have fixed that time. We energize one to approach them. I remember that one of the directors of the Standard Board of Africa, Ghana, approaching me and saying, I can't get, my wife can't get pregnant. We've been married and it's a shame in our culture. And 3 months later, as we were doing the process of the certification, when I provided them the materials, told them what to do, he said, Mr. Keshe, you've done magic. My wife is pregnant. We change the energy balance. We change the possession. We change the position. Can't change the place. But the place and the position is confirmed. We cannot do anything. We want a human child. Only thing we change is the elevation of the change of in position, which is the change of the type, and the emotion of the both, which wanted the child. These technologies now become part of what we call travel of the future. As we move forward with our development and what we call the work in China with this agreement we signed, this side of technology will be rapidly explored. The wellness side, the energy side, the space travel side, in the agreements we signed, will bring this forward. What will need to be done, what we suffered from the West to not support, we received it from the East. And we gradually bring the technology into a line that can be used. As you've seen in the past few weeks and months, Chinese have developed a new dimension of technology, which is now baffling the West. If any of you have not understood, not heard of it, go and search for it. A new technology by Chinese scientists have been developed. They call it a quantum technology. It's a Keshe Foundation technology based on what the scientists are doing. And now we push this forward. Major breakthroughs. They are asking for physics to be redefined. Now we understand how it's going to be redefined. Is part of the space plasma technology, cosmic rays, which their scientists, due to the work we've done with them over years, they picked up, they've done some of it themselves, and now breaking through. You hear more and more about it. Quantum computers, quantum flights, quantum communications, all are coming in. It's on the back of the knowledge of the Keshe Foundation. The work we've done over years, the scientists have picked up, the engineers have picked up, and they're building on it. They changed the name of the quantum in around about 2018, and the gentleman who changed the name, but they kept on using it, is one of the knowledge seekers who used to translate for us. Now we know how deep it is, and how they work. But now the collaboration is direct. So now, why the Chinese can't do it properly? They miss the time. They start working on this time bracket somewhere in the background to see what and how they can bring it in. The essential of the time is, in a way, if we sort out the time, it's the time of manifestation. Then we see a different world. Then we see amalgamation of what we call knowledge. We see we actually are not walking in air. We're walking into a solid brick wall on every move we make. But we are not in that time. We are on the human time. For another being, what we do is amazing. In a way, we are in the middle of a stone. We do not exist for them because they have a different time bracket than we do. To fall in love with the creatures of the universe and then to have the children of Mitra needs timing, the right timing, in a way that the energy from my soul, the energy from what I give, has the position, and the place for it to go in the depth of the space which matches to the other side. Does not matter how beautiful it is. We've seen in the human race, people fall in love with a bed, with an apple, they go to bed with something else like a partner. We are aware of this. But now this becomes part of the ever evolution of the man in space. We feel the energy of the being and we fall in love with it. We don't need to physically touch it. We, in a way, consume energy from them and we give energy to them. We will endeavor and we will come across new conditions and new positions. We have to be ready for it. And the best place for it is how we understand the timing. Everything with us has to have one common denominator, timing, that when you land in a place, the apple is as fresh as you left it in your pocket, the phone is fully charged and is not out of date, your money is in the pocket for the right place to spend, and the rest of documents has got writing on it because the ink has a different timing than the paper is written on. Then you understand it goes back to hydrogen. Common denominator of the time for man is one of the spectrum isotopes of hydrogen, which keeps the time for the whole universe. It starts from the creator to the man and beyond the universe of the man. It's the responsibility of the scientist to find that time, the isotope, which carries the common denominator of time between the man and the creator and all entities created within the dimension of the man. As we are developing the technologies, as we understand more and more of it, then we come to understand one principle. We are all connected. We are all branches of one tree. We end up with one trunk and we connect to one earth. But this earth is the creator, as the soul of the whole creation of the man and the universe is the same. We call it the tree of life, but this is the tree of creation, where the root sits with the creator and in different form or shape and strength feeds the trunk of the life, which every branch of it, the leaf and fruit of it, is one galaxy, one universe, and the rest of it. Now we understand how life has to be understood. We have to be that common denominator which connects us from the leaf to the branch, to the trunk, to the creator. So there is a common denominator. There is a sap which feeds all of us and has the same timing. The tree falls for a spring, the tree moves into summer, the tree feels at the same time the autumn and the winter. One branch doesn't stay green in the winter and the rest go to sleep. One common denominator, energy, controls the whole lot. And that's the time factor. And when the two time matches with the time of the creation, fits to move, fits to travel, fits to be a creator. The process of time will be more and more understood according to the emotion. In the physical dimension, we call it seasons. It changes as the seasons, the emotion of the warmth and the love and closeness changes. We have the leaves, the summer, the fruit, the autumn, the leaf falls, and the winter, the nakedness of the plant. That's all it is. We call it the season. We call it the emotion. That's all it does. And once we understand this and how it works, how seasons are created, how we can change condition to create different seasons, we have managed to understand the work of time. Time is a spring, summer, and autumn. But in fact, the summer is creation of that child when the soul of the child is created in the womb of the mother. Then it comes the fruit time, which is the birth of the child. Then it comes the growth time, which is the summertime. And it comes to the winter when the man dies. It's all the same word, but we have chosen different names to fit us, but we never understood the fundamental organization of it. The emotions and the seasons and whatever you call it creates its own dimension of time. Man will reach the point of maturity when he understands how to control that emotion, how to replicate that emotion. In the teaching of last week, we explained to all of you that there is a system running in the background. And the response we had in the past few days, those of you who reported back to us, is amazing. Losing addiction, changing direction, finding new joys in life, which didn't exist, and the rest of it. As I promised, today's session is the same. The systems are working in the background. We are changing time for you. We are affecting the timeline the way it affects you. Write to us, and then we understand how deeper we reach. Those of you who are on the panelists, you can see the system setting up and running from the beginning of the session. See how we change your time. See what has changed in next few days, next few weeks, and from now on. Something you wanted, you wish to have, has it come true? How come suddenly and not the day before today and not the day before last Friday? Now you understand how collectively we are touching your time. Some things go bad, something goes right. But again, the soul of the man decides as his time has changed. We have changed the position with the dimension of the emotion. We have connected, in a way, we have linked all of you to the trunk of the tree without you knowing it. You are correcting and you're receiving and what you need to do. It'll be interesting how your emotion changes in the coming time and weeks. In a way, all of you, even those of you who wrote to us that you listened to the recording but you were not present in the session, you have felt the change. So it's the essence of the emotion in time which counts and not the combination of the lines and the words. This is why when I always said in the teaching, when we teach for the universe and not for the man. Then the enlightenment goes across, is timeless, as it creates its time when it touches the field which is need that energy to create this time. It's what we call enlightenment. Enlightenment of the creation is part of the work of the universal teachers. We work and we strive. We are ruthless in what we do because the ruthlessness brings us to be able to serve those who need at the time of need, not for those who want to take advantage to be superior to others, to confirm their existence. It's the beauty of the knowledge no one can abuse. Now you have to understand how to create a common denominator at the time. In today's session and last Friday, we have created that. Many of you, gradually as you attend these sessions, you'll find out we play with different dimensions of time. Today, we have said in two different dimensions how to generate the time which affects the energy parallel. I explain this sometime in the future. Energy parallel is not the two worlds living parallel to each other. Energy parallel is part of the world of the creation. We always know it. And the parallel waves, the parallel fields, you have gravity and magnetical. It's the essence of life. Energy parallel is the same. As the gravitational magnetic fields are part of the magnetic field, the structure, motion of magnetic fields is called energy, and energy creates its dimensional position, and then at the same time it creates its own time. Parallel energies is part of the structure of the creation of the universe. Most of our universe is not created by fields growing out. Most of the conformation of the existence comes when it comes back in, interacts with what goes out. In a way, when the fields which they go up, then on the way coming back down, they find themselves in the material condition of the rain, the raindrops, the snow. It's not that it just comes all the way from the sky down. We evaporate, we put it up, and on the way down, it changes itself to the drop of rain. This is exactly how most of the creation is created. Once the world of cosmology understand this, they categorize the world of creation in two dimensions. And then we understand even one, what we call neutron stars are created. Neutron stars are created by the fields which are going out as a magnetical. The galaxies, planetary system like Earth, are those which are created from the reverse when the energy comes back. Is reduced enough on its the way dropping back, interacts in two ways with other energies which are going down, or with energies which are coming from the below up, the source of the creation, the worlds going back to the creation. Then we categorize the life of the universe in the three classic direction and dimensions. Those which are created by the interaction of the fields of the creation. One coming from the direction of the rotation interacts with another one from the same but in a different strength but in the same direction, which they both come from the source. These are what we call neutron stars, the most powerful structures, because they both come from the source. Then we have the structures which come from the source and one on the return. This creates structures like galaxies and universes. Then, when you have the dimensions where the interaction of the material returning from the source, returning back to the source, which creates planetary systems, which creates the stars. Once the world of creation understand these three different point of creations and how the time in the creation affects the rest of the universe and the unicos, then man becomes the true travelers of the universe. Because in a way you return back into, but you can get on the field strength of those which are going out to travel in the further distances of the universe, and but come back in a slower way by the ones which return. In understanding this process, cosmologists in the future will decide the time, not the manifestation. The time of the creation of the neutron star, for example, is totally different than the rest. That's why we see them so dramatic. We see them with such a big, huge interactions with their environment because they come from the source. The center of the galaxies, the center of the universes, come from that essence of source, but of the stronger, bigger packages. When they interact with the feedback from the energies of the creation, from the spaces of the universe, they create what we call manifestation of the universe. The same with the galaxies, the same with all the solar systems. But we have to understand which one fits into what, and which one creates the dimension and direction of the what we call manifestation of time, of existence, and manifestation of conformation. In the world of science, in the coming time, as we teach more, the scientists will understand if you tune your time to the time of the moon, creation of its essence, origin fields, you're there in a fraction of the second, not more, not less, because you tune your time, you find a common denominator, because as the fields of the universe travel different dimensions and directions, they keep that essence, but at a certain point, the field of the time freezes, which means they confirm this is what I want to be and this is my time start. And the rest of the material they attract and they bring to confirm their manifestation as a planet, as a star, as a raindrop. All depends on the fields of the environment and how we change that position. You will understand this technology of the time will be used extensively in the space technologies of the future, especially if you colonize. You have to create a time which is accepted by the environment of the place and the position, and then you decide the manifestation, the position. If you can do that in your soul, you manifest as the animal of the planet. If you cannot manifest that time, that field of the position, you need a dome to replicate a condition between the two of the planet and where you came from that can allow you to exist in a dimension of the physicality you are used to. Then it goes back how we control ourselves. You'll find out in the system which we'll show on the 19th of July, the back end of it. In the near future, once our scientists understand the development of it, the full development of it, you can, while you have the headset on you, you can change into a dog. You can change into anything you like, because now we create a dimension of the position. It's you who decides the position. Up to now, you create the images of what you like with what we call 3D games that you follow, and you play these video games with the glasses. With this new system, we play the position. You can change to what you want to be. As we develop this in the near future, it'll become part of embedded system in the body of the man. You don't need to carry a headphone that then when you come a mouse, it falls on the floor. You understand this. As our scientists understand more and more of this, we'll mass produce these systems in a way that you don't play computer game with glasses, but you play the game of life with the same structure, with the same knowledge, but this time is reality of your own existence, the time, the place, and the position. I like to be a dog on the lap of my husband and see how he behaves. You don't need to put a headphone and land in the middle of God knows his arms, and you're a dog and you can't return. Darling, where are you? Woof, woof. It does not work. You have to understand we are on the research phase, we are on the development phase. And our scientists have to understand step by step of this work. And I'm sure in the coming months, with the collaboration between the Market Corporation and Chinese scientists and the military and the world of space and commercial, this technology will be spread like a wildfire once we start the process in the coming days and weeks. This is why we teach it, that you're prepared, you understand. And these teachings in time we will listen and people will understand more and more how to decide on the time. You change the time by position, but you cannot change that much of it. You can change some breathing parameters, you can change some food, you might change some fields around you, but the only thing will change your time is your emotion, because it brings the intellect of what to do with it, and it brings what we call the enlightenment, that what this emotion brings you into, what will be the outcome. In the coming weeks, in the coming months, as we endeavor to deepen knowledge of the man, as we teach more and more about time, and then there's another part when we finish with the part of the teaching, which is the real part of the space technology and what we call transmutation time, then we start seeing the new dimensions. We will see parallel world, we will see parallel dimensions, which we always knew or we've been told but it was a dreamland, but becomes a reality. How do we see the universe? Would we see the galaxies the way they are? Would we see the environment we live in as it is? Or do we get the power to understand, to change the time, to see the parallel life with us, along with us? We are moving in the stone, but in reality we live on the planet Earth, because to dimensions above us in the energy fields, we are liquids, we are energy packs, we haven't solidified in the dimension of their life. Then it brings for you to understand there is life within the earth, there is life within every solid material, even planets. Some grow, some get educated, some evolve in the knowledge and live. They don't need to be on the surface to confirm their existence like man. They feel the emotion of inside. It's the same with the animals. Animals always feel things ahead of time because they live in a different time zone than the man. We see this now in the past few weeks happening in Yellowstone. Animals, all against their characters and characteristics, are moving. Go back to what we showed in China years ago in March of, I think, 2019, 2020, when a flock of what we call parasites, what we call pests, appeared on the plants, and we changed the environment and they moved and there was nothing within 2 days. Why do the animals of Yellowstone are moving in a condition and opposite to the direction they ever immigrated? Because they feel the essence of the time within the earth. But the most beautiful thing is if they collectively are feeling the move above. Are we about to receive a meteorite? Have they changed their field? Have they understood the timing of that the place will be hit? Could be the energy from outside that it creates the diversion and confirmation within inside. It's interesting to find how and why suddenly millions and millions of animals are deserting the area they were brought up in, but they are moving in the opposite direction that they ever immigrated. If they were going to the west, now they're going to the east. Doesn't mean the west side is going to be demolished, and they're aware of the change of time. It's interesting to find out in the next few weeks and months why so many billions of animals, from the ants to the flies and to the bears and the rest, are moving out of nowhere. They are appearing in the places they've never seen before. They are paralyzing societies by hundreds of thousands of them literally moving across. Have they felt the time from the creation of emotion within the center of the planet? Or are we about to receive a meteorite from the space? They know the time. They are more sensitive to the creation of new time than we are. Preservation of life, creation of new environment, movement of. We see the same thing in the structure of the human race. The changes are appearing in a different time zone, not by knowledge, but in a way affected by these mobile phones you carry. You receive so much energy that you are changing the position as it comes from all directions. And we absorb 80% of our fields from our environment. This is the source which really gives us so much energy and the time at this moment of time, that it brings through the energy given through the knowledge you call it, but in fact other energies which comes with it as sound, that the soul of the man is evolving, is maturing, is in a way bring new understanding, new intellect, that it brings new enlightenment, that it brings new emotions, that then creates a new race of man, new time. When you look at these satellites, when you look at these mobile phones, when you understand the technology which has been explained to you from the beginning, that 80% of the energy we receive from the environment, we are receiving additional energies which have never been used to. And in past 20, 30 years, more and more, we just carry a mobile phone, continuous energy. Part of this is absorbed by us, it's changed, it elevates. In a way, it brings a new time zone, it new brings intellect, it brings new insight. We look at the life in the dimension of energy, in the dimension of evolution of the receiving energy from the outside than inside. In a way, if you look at it, there is another apple which you continuously eat every day. It's called mobile phone frequencies, mobile phone, the spectrum of the energies. It's not changing ourselves, it's feeding our soul. We are changing the dimension of what we call enlightenment, because it brings energies. Does not matter if it's on or off. We continuously receive, and we have found another source of energy. And if you understood this, this is why I keep on saying in the coming time we'll feed you through mobile phone, because you already have connected into it to receive energy. Is additional fattening of the knowledge, not fattening the body of the man. The mobile phones, what you access, is another source of enlightenment, is another source of intellect, which brings in new emotions, and with it, we have tapped into a huge, what we call reservoir of direct energy, that even our soul is getting touched by it. Now you understand how our environment has changed. You watch the people who carry 2, 3, 4, 5 mobile phones with them, and look at their enlightenment, look at their understanding, look how they behave. Unless you're a drug trafficker, you're trying to connect to your clients, what you see people carry, it shows the amount of intellect, what they carry with them, how wide they are. Because they receive different spectrum. It's the same as what we say, people who speak 2 or 3 languages have a different insight to life. We don't see Alzheimer's with the people who at least are 2 or 3, what we call languages speaking. Very, very short, very, very less. Those who really speak their life, live their life of 2 languages. Unless they choose, Alzheimer's is slower, because they absorb energy from the knowledge, the soul of 2 different environments. And they create their own 3rd generation, what is known in the world of the science of today. First generation is the language they were born in. Second language is the society they live in. And they bring a mixture. A new generation of 3rd generations are the children of the men who are brought up between 2 cultures, 3 cultures. Now we bring those cultures with mobile phone. We just change. We have to look at how this will change the time of man. Go back to the teaching of the Keshe Foundation years and years ago. I said to you many times, with 2 mobile phones, I'll give you everything you need. Now you understand, because between the 2, you can create a time that you can move into. The unit we show in Vienna this weekend is the beginning of the cycle of these 2 times. It's set up to do. It's a structure to do. It brings enlightenment. It brings intellect. It interaction of the fields of knowledge of the man. It brings understanding of it. This is why we have 2 half brain. The unbalance, it creates a point of balance. It brings a new kind of intellect, judgment. Creates a new time. Each side of the brain has its own time. One goes to sleep, the other one is awake, one is functioning, one is half functioning. But when they come together, they create the man. Sleep, walking, resting, decision making. We are used to it, but we never understood it. And this is the biggest pitfall for man. Now it's time to bring the time in. The systems we developed will bring that combination of time, to bring the essence of time. We decide what time, what will be manifested. In today's research and development in our labs, we are testing this. We're just changing one parameter and we see different materials are produced in the same system. We create a new time because the time of a carbon is different than the time of hydrogen, is different than the time of gold and calcium. All we do, we create a new condition of time, nothing else. Flow of the fields. Try to understand this very carefully. Then you'll start understanding how to transmute. Those of you who are looking to create a child, then you understand how to create the time to create the children of Mitra. If you can do it with another entity in the universe, why can't you do it on this planet? Fine-tuning the time creates a new dimension for man to understand the world of creation. As I always said in the past few weeks, try to understand the teaching and you will see breakthrough in the science and technology. You see breakthrough in your own world of understanding of the what I call the time, the place, and the position and the position. Write to us in what you feel from now until next week and the weeks beyond. What has changed in life? It's amazing what people notice. 1, 2 hours of listening to this session can change a life which you could not do. We are reaching you in a different way by changing the time in you that coincidentally it's happened the time we set and not you. Enlightenment to your own existence. We go for a break and we come back and we endeavor to teach you more. But don't forget, all of you in today's session are conditioned to our time from the second we started.